trying to stay COVID safe, you know. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out and making this, impactful. I do want to start off, I got a brand new job a couple days ago, canvassing for Brianna Henry's, running for state rep in District 1. And as I was canvassing for her, I was realizing that most of the individuals I was speaking to were our older individuals who are more at risk for this virus that is going around, known as COVID-19. And I thought about how they're literally trying to silence an entire group of people with shutting down the USPS, privatizing it, and making sure that their voice is not heard. People who have been accustomed to voting by mail for years and years and years. So they don't even know where to get updates on if this was to change. Their voice would just, become non-existent. And I thought about how messed up that is, and how nobody's really talking about it. And when we found out this event was happening, we had to come out and make sure our voice was heard as well. Because personally, I try to support as many small businesses as I can. Every single month, most of everything I use comes from a small business. And all of the small businesses that I support are from Black, Indigenous, people of color. And shutting down the USPS or privatizing it would make it so that these prices would become so expensive that I would only have to buy local, and I wouldn't be able to support those small businesses anymore. Because there aren't enough small businesses that are doing what I need or providing what I need here, which is obviously why I'm buying it and getting it shipped to me. And I need that to continue. I also want to, stress how in this election year, there's 4 million 17-year-olds that turned 18 that now have the right to vote this election. That's our youth voice, that's our youth count, and I don't know about you guys, but when I was 17, just turned 18, I was still living with my parents. So that's putting, most of those kids that have now earned that right to vote, they're probably in households where they're not really being allowed to come out, to make sure that they're staying COVID safe. And privatizing and shutting down the USPS is only going to make that harder for now 2 major groups to make their voice heard in this election if they cannot vote by mail. A lot of what I'm realizing is that, we like to protest things, but we don't think about how we can prevent things from happening, so we don't even have to protest them anyway. And that comes from putting pressure on our politicians, making sure that when they vote, they have us in mind because it's us that they serve and represent. Them even voting to privatize or shut down the USPS, both parties, it doesn't make any sense because they're not representing us. They don't have our best interests because they don't represent us. And I think it's time for us to realize that and understand that the power of the people is the greatest power, and that we need to keep it alive. We need to keep making our voice heard. And we need to keep proving to them that we're never going to be silenced, and that we're always going to advocate, and that we're going to get into people's faces. We're going to make sure that our issues are being heard because they affect us the most. They can't make decisions for us and claim that they're representing us if they're not listening to us. So it's time to raise our voices, save the USPS, and get that Postmaster General out of here. Thank you.